Well, hello, my kings, queens, and everybody in between. My name is Ashley, aka Yar Stitch. I think it's double. Anyway, thank you for coming to my Flosstube channel, where I discuss surprisingly cross stitch, and as we'll say, anything that computes in this and falls out this. So, again, I'll be just as surprised as you. For any new viewers, welcome, come in, sit down, I apologise, brace yourselves, get a cup of tea, put a coaster down and enjoy the chaos. For the returning people, I mean, gluttons for punishment if I'm honest, but you know, my Flosstube fam, thanks ever so much for returning. I'm glad you enjoy the chaos as much as I enjoy giving you the chaos, which is clearly ensuing right now. Let's just stop from that bit and we'll cut to the next bit, okay? So what's been occurring since I saw you all last? Well, December happened. That was December. I, through December, decided to do a Flossmas, not like in the video way that most normal people would do. I just threw up a picture once a day, which I didn't really think was going to be a struggle. I'm not going to lie, but like day 4, I'm like, what do I do? I've got nothing, because I've been stitching on the same thing and everything. But either way, I put stuff up, just, you know, so I was still engaging with you guys over December because I didn't want to kind of pull away. I'd really enjoyed stitching and I've done rather a lot because I got an extra week's holiday over Christmas as well, which was nice. Lots more stitching. And yeah, obviously within that Flossmas, the stuff that occurred within December. For those of you that don't have Instagram and weren't able to see it was Yarsmas, I called it. It was hashtag Yarsmas, which, you know, such funny, I'm just like a marketing genius. There was one day that all the family got together to do the obvious family Christmas jumper meal, and yours truly, you know, it's like, is he going to come wearing a reindeer? Is he going to come wearing a Christmas tree? No dear, she came wearing this. I know, I love her too. She's amazing, she's great, I love her. A couple of kids did ask, but you know, just the favourite hoe. I'm one of 3 children, so I'm the middle child. So I'm like, yeah, I'm the favourite hoe, I'm the middle one. The hoe. I'm that hoe. So yeah, that was me. Yeah, had a lovely Christmas jumper meal, family, friends, lots of time spent just, you know, just connecting with people over Christmas and cross-stitching. What else did I do? Random. Okay, well, this isn't really a shout out. It's more of a recommendation. Let's not push it. Okay, right. So, I had a couple of friends over. If you're watching, then neither of you is called Yasmin. I don't know why I was about to say that. However, Alison and Chloe and Francesca all came over to my house and we had some Chinese and we had some like chocolate and stuff, blah 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 blah. That's not the point here. The point is, if anyone has Disney Plus and just needs a smile film, Godmothered, like I can't even. It was, I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, it wasn't, you know, War and Peace, which is more of a book thing, isn't it? It wasn't like The Colour Purple, you know, it wasn't gonna, you know, win Best Actress. It probably should do in my mind, all that. But it was just a fun Christmas film, one of those ones where it's like, oh my god, look, there's magic in the world, but the adults don't believe in it, so it's going to take the children and some magic, which I've already mentioned already, magic, and like fun times and just, you know, the realization, and then at the end of it you're all just like, yay. But I kept laughing at everything. We know I'm a child on the inside, we do know this, but it was just a lovely film. So yeah, I mean, it kind of, I think, happens around Christmas-ish, possibly, maybe. I'm saying this. I don't think it actually had Christmas. No, it did have Christmas. I'm sure there was a tree. Either way, watch it any time of the year. I mean, it's still cold now. Technically, it's winter. Just put your tree back up, put some lights on, get some marshmallows in your hot chocolate. You're all good uns. Yeah, but so it has Isla Fisher, and I believe her name is Gillian Bell. I was going to say Kristen Bell, but that's another amazing lady that she went in. Probably would have been cool if she was, but she wasn't. Anyway, but yeah, so Godmothered on Disney Plus. Definite suggestion to watch with the kids. It's or even just on your own, because like, did watch it again on my own because it was fun. So yeah, I watched that. As I said, yeah, I did Yasmus on my Instagram profile, which is surprising. Are you ready? At one of those at signs. Yas, Y-A-S-S _ Stitch. Yas _ Stitch. Okay. So yeah, if any of you are on Instagram and fancy following what I do on there, I do post up random bits and bobs every now and again. Go have a look if you want to. Okay. Obviously, the most important point in all of this, he says, brushing his hands across his face for God knows why. Santa turned up. Like, I so wasn't expecting it, but you know, didn't know what list I was on really, and I was fingers crossed, and it was so great. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, in the energy crisis, a lump of coal might have been nice, but let's not go there. We're not that kind of no. So yeah, he turned up. I got quite a few things, including the first cross stitch I'm going to show you from the other half. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Can you see it? Can you see it though? Is it like in it though? So it's done by the Dutch Stitch Brothers. It's obviously 3 cats. That's what it's called. And yeah, it's got all the stuff and bits and bobs in it and things and stuff. So I got that from Santa Claus, the other half, but Santa Claus, which was lovely. I got another one, which I've actually started, so it's in part of my WIPs. What else did I get? I got smellies, I got vouchers, I got a jacket, I got scarves, I got a toothbrush, which I asked for. I opened one item and in my brain I went, because my sister bought me an item, because, right, what I do is, my birthday's in May, right, and I never know what to buy. I always thought I'd be fine to work out what I'm going to want for Christmas, because, you know, you just go through all the random catalogues and you cut everything out, don't you, and then you put it onto a sticky board and then you send it off to Santa and he sends you what you need. That's how it works, how it's always worked. But then you get to a certain point in your life where it's like, I don't know what I want. Now, I never thought that would happen to me. It has, you know, to the point where once I asked for a microwave for Christmas. I was so disappointed in myself. We needed it, but I was so disappointed. But yeah, so yeah, what I do is I ask lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff after Christmas. So I send out all of these different suggestions to loads and loads and loads and loads of different people. So then when it gets to Christmas, I've probably forgotten what I've asked for. You know, because it's nice to open a surprise, you know. So my sister, bless her, I opened this thing and thought, I don't remember asking for a clothes era. You know, one of those fold out things and you put your clothes on, they dry, it's lovely, you know. Quite a good grown up present. No. It was the greenhouse that I'd asked for. Completely forgotten that I'd asked for. So happy I've got it. Your girl is going to be proper farm couture. Like, I might buy a pair of dungarees and some wellies. You know, just stare at the garden, and that's about it really. No, a couple of years back when the Panny D started, I threw myself into, let's do some gardening, which is really easy to do in a garden that is 95% concrete and stone. So, you know, I bought some of the little packs and got some little like mud stuff to throw, and I'm so good with the terminology and all that. Anyway, put all my bits and bobs in. A couple of bits started growing, none of the other stuff was growing because the birds kept eating them. So I just left it and left it and left it, and I thought, do you know what, no, I want to do it this year. So I asked Santa Claus, Sister Claus, to get me a greenhouse, which again I'd forgotten about, so that was lovely to open. It was great, so I'm going to do that this year, that'd be great. The 2 main things that I got, because again, you know, you don't know what to ask for. my cut to the side story a little bit. My other half had joked that, you know, he gave me a box and was like, oh God, there's no holes in it, how are they breathing? I thought I'd actually got a cat because I'm that gullible and I'm hopped up on sugar at that time in the morning, that I thought, you know, I'd had a pet and that it had died before I'd even got to it. So, you know, lovely Christmas morning feels. But it's okay though, because I realised and, you know, came into reality. But no, my other half bought me a beautiful Kindle Fire, which I had one a while ago, and I'm the kind of person, like the laptop I use even to upload these videos and stuff is about 13 years old. You know, it's like, if my thing is, if it isn't broken, why get something else, you know? So yeah, but unfortunately for me, my original Kindle my parents got me years back, out of nowhere. I have no idea how it happened. I mean, I can probably guess, but like, I put it in a drawer and then a couple of weeks later pulled it out and all the screen was cracked. So, I mean, I could still use it, but like swiping across was very dangerous on the finger. You didn't know if you'd actually, you know, get the selection you wanted or have to end up in A&E because you slice your fingers open. So no, my other half bought me one of those, which is lovely and green. I would say my signature colour. It's only become my signature colour over the past couple of years since I started playing D&D and my character's a druid, because I'm feeling more natural, and, you know, green is natural. I mean, what is that? Fur. Probably from me, to be fair. So yeah, he got me that, which is lovely. I've uploaded Pattern Keeper onto it. It was then like, okay, so we'll upload all the pieces you've got as well, and great. And like, no, it didn't do that. I've gone online to look at how to export my progress across, which I followed the step-by-step instructions, and it's just not doing it, because it gets to a certain point and it's like, it's not what it says to do. The selection isn't there. So anyone that's actually imported progress across Pattern Keeper from 2 different devices, if you have any tips, if you could sploosh it in the comments and stuff, that'd be most amazing. Also, while I remember, if anyone does enjoy what they're watching and they'd like to, you know, aid a homosexual in need, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to, feel free. Okay. Moving on. So now let's get into the, I was going to say meat and bones, but as a vegetarian, I don't think that's very sound to you. Let's get into the broccoli and grass of the video. You're here for stitching. So I'm going to very quickly start with finishes that I've had from this year. And I say all of them, I've pulled together stuff, I've given stuff away, I've done bits and bobs, so you're getting what you're getting from what I've got here, and if there are things that are missing, it's missing. Yeah. So I don't think there should be, though. I've done quite well. So first and foremost, I don't know if I put these up in my last video. I think I did, but I don't think I put up the pictures that had the back stitch on. I did, however, put them up on my Instagram, but for those of you that don't have Instagram, these are 2 of my finishes I did for a friend this year. One which is Always Be Yourself, and the other one being When It Rains, Look for Rainbows. I have previously done the Always Be Yourself for my sister. This time, as you're about to see, I did it in a different colour scheme, and I did the When It Rains, Look for Rainbows as it was on printed 14 count Starry Sky Ada from, I never say this right, Play. It's written on one of my Flosstubes times ago, but yeah, that's where that came from. So this is what they look like. Which is obviously beautiful. Sticking in the theme of that Ada, but doing something for someone else, I think I did show this last time, but you know, this is a WIP Parade, kind of. So we'll show everything. This is my friend Sophie. I did her this, which obviously, as you can read, it's lovely. And then we've got a few other bits in there, and a few things around the outside that just remind me of my friend. But that's for Sophie, and I'm making the pledge now, right? I get paid in a couple of weeks, so if I know you're watching, this will be framed and with you by the end of this month, I promise, because I said that about Christmas, didn't I? Did it happen? Clearly. Okay, so that will happen for my friend Sophie. That was obviously a pattern that, I say obviously, it was just a pattern I created myself and threw together. I know a few people have mentioned, I have put this up before because a couple of people have mentioned about the pattern. I did it on an Excel spreadsheet, which, I mean, if people want to give me their email addresses via DM on Instagram, or I don't know, or if you want it, let me know. I'm happy to send you the file. You know, it's just his words, to be fair, and all that. However, I did actually have to purchase the hedgehog. Did I write where I purchased my hedgehog from? I didn't, but it was from Etsy, from somebody. So thank you ever so much if you created that hedgehog. Speaking of random hair, not that we were. Okay, so but finally, the other finish that I have in front of me is Grease Athena. Now, this is something done by another Flosstube, one of my friends, Mihal, Star Parade. He got it on his Etsy shop, which is Star Parade. Please go give it a look. I'll link it in the doobly-doos. Now, he created the pattern to look like this. As you'll be able to tell, I've done something a little bit different. So, just realised I haven't been putting stuff up behind this, so we're going to just do this very quickly. I don't think it's going to be. So anyway, I did this, which for anyone that can speak Greek, read Greek, basically it says Athena in Greek. So, and that's why I did that one, because I mean, the pattern was so cool. I did it literally within a handful of days. It was just so beautiful. I could not put it down. And I have obviously made the joke of, well, not made the joke, I'm very serious about my God, Mihal, sorry, please do the rest. Do the rest of the Olympian? Yep, Olympian Pantheon. I mean, you don't actually have to, I am just wishful thinking, you know, but if anyone knows of something that, like, I'd like the set of 12 and any other gods and goddesses that would come in a similar style, you know, if anyone knows that they're out there, please let me know. I mean, I know there is that one that's got like the Mount Olympus and they're all like on the, like a samplery thing and all that, and there's Dionysus in one random corner. But yeah, my Greek myth, I love it. So, you know, if anyone's got any suggestions of Greek myth pieces to do, please let me know. So yeah, Mihal, Star Parade, Athena, Greece. That was up for his trip to Greece. He's got another couple of few patterns in regards to that, and some other ones as well, which I can't. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought, guys, and I'm just sat here showing you this because I mean it is amazing, those people. And also it was my choice to do tent stitch around the border, because I'm not gonna lie, I did that making it sound like I was trying to be snazzy and jazzy and all that, but it's because I started and I didn't know if I was going to have enough thread left. That's the honest God's reason why I did that. So that's Athena. That's currently all of the finishes. I mean, I did have one for my niece Imogen, which I showed in the last one. Let's throw her in here. So that was the one for Imogen, and that's currently all of my finishes. Let's stop here and get set up for the whips. But before the whips, just very, very quickly, because I mean, well, no, this is a UFO. This is a UFO. It's got to be, because I am not unpicking all of this. I mean, no, but which way around does it go? So for any of you who know what this is, it's actually supposed to look like this. But unfortunately, me being myself, and me, myself, and moi, because always a good combination, me, just down here at the bottom, yeah, they're supposed to join. And I don't know why they're not. And I'm not going around unpicking. So I do love the pattern. So what I'm going to do is I will redo the pattern at some point. Just at the moment, I'm not going to deal with that. There's just no point. It's just going to waste my time and it'll annoy me. So I won't do it. Right, but that's my UFO peacocks, which was actually the first cross stitch that my other half bought me for Christmas when I started doing cross stitch again. And also in regards to my plans next year, it would kind of fit in a little bit. I can make it fit in a little bit, but yeah, we'll just see. I mean, that's not a main priority at the moment. So, WIPs. So let's now look into the WIPs, starting with the Ancient World map. Now, the Ancient World map is a picture that was designed by John Speed, apparently after he died, which, well done, I say it every time. Yeah, and it's charted. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention who it's charted by or not, because I'm not sure what the situation is, so I'm not going to say, but I've got this. It's the Ancient World map. My other half also bought it for me when I got back into stitching. It's lovely, it's amazing. Anyway, so this is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. And I haven't worked on it since you guys last saw it, so yeah, but this is now what it looks like. It's lovely, lovely jubbly. It's something that I noticed, well, I noticed after I was looking through it, because I thought, you know what, I might go back to that at some point this year. And I do plan on it. I'm in the wrong place, but something I noticed is that, oh, this way. These here, not that you guys can overly tell in this light at all, however, I've used 2 different colour threads and I don't know why. So, I mean, not that it's a big issue, it's, you know, it's supposed to be ancient and stuff, so a little bit of brown on brown ain't really going to be an issue, but yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell, you can't really, it's only that I know that it's there, which is the problem, which shouldn't really be, but either way, that's where I got to with my Ancient World map. Yeah, moving on. Next up, I have what was originally called the 6 Wives of Henry VIII, and looks like this. Now, I have worked on this slightly, a little bit since I last saw you guys, but without further ado, on its 16 count, what? I know. So I got Ada in, it didn't really have a colour on it, so I've self-proclaimed this to be parchment, for anyone who speaks normal. And anyway, without further ado, this is what it looks like. Yay, so we've got some Catherine and a bit of Jane, some hens, Harry really, but you know, let's not talk about Harry's right now. But yeah, so not again that it's going to be very obvious to you guys, but the bits that I worked on, because I was just proper in on it at this point, I've been working on the leaves around the outside, just little bits here and there. I say tiny little bit, but I kind of, not that I tried to make plans. I mean, we all try to make plans, and mine never ever go to plan. I wanted to kind of, through December, since my last video, touch at least every one of my projects once. And my way to do that was going to be focus on the green, my colours at the moment, the green. No. You know, I did get to work on this, which was, it's lovely. I say it's on, and I do plan to work on that more through into next year, with reasons that I'll explain later. I think I've already explained previously, but you get them again, because why not? Everyone loves a repeat, you know, it's great. Anyway, so next up is a piece by Emma Congdon, which is in her cross stitch for the Earth book. It's called Between Two Pines, which when it is finished will look like this. And I have worked on it a little bit since I last saw you guys. How are we putting this out? I really should have brought something up. It's on Forest Green Viking Loom, no, Forest Green Ada from the Viking loom, which is where I purchased it from. And it currently looks like, is that the right way? Is it up the right way? No! Okay, so obviously, as you guys can tell here, it's beautiful. The work I've done since you last seen it is this colour green down the bottom and up the sides here. That's what I've done since you guys last saw it. Which I knew as soon as I saw this, I knew as soon as I saw this in the book. I know exactly where it's going. I know exactly who I'm doing it for. It's just got to happen. It's great. There is going to be a difference for myself, being that where it says between two pines, I'm changing that to trees, because as I've said previously, the person that I'm sending it to and myself used to get rather inebriated, and as everyone knows, when you're inebriated and you run through a tree, it sends you through a parallel universe into a different dimension. And I mean, in all honesty, I've since starting Flosstube, I've jumped through a couple of trees, I'm not going to lie. So I don't even know if I'm in the same universe that I started Flosstube in. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm doing that for my friend, like I say, 14 count forest green Ada from the Viking loom. Beautiful. Just going back to my squizzle little notes. Have we got anything else? No, no notes. So, next is one that some of you may know the artist, Mr. Vincent van Gogh, did a piece called Starry Night. Then someone decided, well, I'll just turn it into a cross stitch. Now, this is again something my other half bought for me, which I just adore. It's beautiful. This here, this right here, that was a pause. This right here is what it's going to look like when it is finished. And I don't believe I've worked on this since you last saw it, so without further ado, adieu. Tabat! Isn't she pretty? She's pretty, we love her. So yeah, again, this is just one that I every now and again just go back to. It's a bit simple to go into, you know, so I am going to have to start diving into the blue, because I've plowed through as much of the black as I can. Like I spent so many weeks just 310, 310, 310, 310. Can't do it anymore, guys. Just can't. So I decided if I work on this next year, no black, just blues, greens, yellows, and stirrup. So how beautiful that's looking from Mr. Vincent van Gogh and the Starry Night. Now moving on to a couple. Let's go for this one. This one? Let's go for this one first, actually. Changing the game. Now, this is one that the first big piece that I bought myself. I say bought myself. I bought myself fabric to do it. The actual pattern, bless the person who's done this, is free online. If anyone wants to know where to find it, I will again link it in the doobly-doos. But this is something that very close to my heart, as you'll see with the thing that comes after it as well. But without further ado, as I've said, this is the Generation 1 150 Pokemon cross stitch, looking like this when it's finished. And here, my beautiful peoples, right, this is not going to be, right, I'm going to try and show this, but I'm not promising anything. So, this is the bottom half, because I've decided, glutton for punishment, that I'm going to go around and do all the border and that colour blue, I believe it's 157, all in one go. So I've done that there, and then just, you know, to make things a bit easier on myself, I did the top half as well, went round, so I know exactly where I'm going to. Again, that's just a simple, easy stitch when I do that. But yeah, that recently has been completed by one of my Flosstube friends. who is Racquell, who is Bookish Kel. Oh, I want to say 08, but I think I'm wrong, so I'm going to put her name in at the bottom somewhere. Not on here, down in the comments and stuff. But yeah, that is something that I'm currently doing. Moving on to the next one. We are getting through quite quickly, aren't we? Well, this is what happens when you decide to go through and just do it all in one go, Ashley. Don't get me wrong. This is the 7th attempt, but still. So the next one up is a picture that, right, I've been wondering about this one recently because I found this by mistake online. And since then, I've seen that someone's put it out as a pattern. So, what I'm going to do is I have to wait for payday because, no, at the moment, it's been Christmas, guys, no. So I'm going to wait for payday and I'm going to purchase the pattern because, you know, right, don't get me wrong, I did the work of going around, but someone's turned this into the pattern and I kind of feel like just in case, like I get a bit of flack for it, you know, then I will purchase it. But either way, I'm calling it Evolutions, and I will, once I've gone and found the proper information about it, I will, I say, share it with you guys, and I will then credit the artist and everything. But Evolutions, as I haven't purchased the pattern yet, I'm not going to show you what the picture will look like when it's finished, but you can kind of see that from this. So without further ado, on the 14 count Ada, which is, by the way, what everything that I work on is 14 count Ada, barring the Zweigart for the Hank and his harem and a couple of other things that I'll mention. Everything is 14 count white Ada. Oh, the green one isn't, obviously, because it's green. But this 14 count white Ada is currently holding my Evolutions that look like so. So I've done that. I'm currently working on the waves around Vaporeon at the bottom. And then once I've done that, let's check. Oh, I have done the ice around Glaceon. Score! So after I've done that water, then comes the decision making. Now, around the like liney border around the outside, I'm thinking of doing like the yellow and blue Pokemon colours, just like one after the other, boom, 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 boom. And it's been mentioned before. I've turned around to people and said, like in the comments, write it and stuff. I don't know what to do about like the whole stained glass in the background, really. So what I was thinking is I'm probably going to take it out, but we don't know yet. But I mean, I've got time, I've got choices now. I mean, if anyone's got suggestions, I mean, I tell people every time, put your suggestions in the bottom. I'll let you know. But at the moment, I feel like I want to take them out because I don't know what to put in the middle of them. But then I don't know, and it's just, then as we all know, decisions, you know. So, well, all my Pokemons there, lovely, beautiful, gorge. Mwah. Okay. So, there's that. Then, for Christmas, I received something from my brother-in-law I received this pattern and it had a pattern on the front of the packet, of the kit, that I thought it was going to be. Once I opened up this pattern and saw the printed pattern on it, it's clearly not that, and I could not for the life of me work out what it is. Luckily for me, my other half is a genius, and once I realised, it is very obvious to realise, found the picture of the pattern online, and to my surprise, it's going to look like this. Guys, this. Which isn't it beautiful? So, without further ado, so getting bored of that phrase now. This is all I have done. That black line across the top, all the yellow, all the bright yellow, is the black of that picture. But also, for the first time in Yas's life, right, it said to do it with 3 strands, so then like it becomes 6. Now, I have a question for you guys, because I've got a feeling I may have been doing this wrong, but if I have, sod it, I'm still doing it, I don't care. So it says do it as 3 to make it 6. So, I get three strands of the floss, right? 1, 2, 3, right? I then put those 3 through my needle, like so, right? Then I get the 2 ends and I tie them together. That then makes my 6. Am I doubling up? And it's supposed to be like 3 that then goes over 3 and stuff. Because, I mean, this is extremely bumpy and very thick. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it feels beautiful and looks beautiful. And this also, before I forget, is going to be the thing that I know I said to you about, obviously having done the when it rains, look for rainbows thing for my niece. Because I'd done it already. And I said to her, do you want, is it that what you want? Or is it what your mum wants? And she wasn't really, you know, she's, oh, no, I don't know. Because I've got this Harry Potter one. And her response before I even got to the end of my sentence was, I'll take that. You don't even know where, I'll take it. She's Harry Potter mad a little bit. And Stranger Things as well. Which she takes after her uncle. What can I say? And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to lie, she is a little bit of a Hermione and a Max put together. You know who those people are? That's my niece. If she's watching, which she isn't, love you. So, yeah, this is being done for her, and once it's done, it will get framed and all that jazz. But yeah, if anyone can seducedly advise me on what I'm doing with my, how many threads I'm using, that would be most amazing. Thank you very much. Right. Penultimately is going to be one of the 2 pieces that are sat either side of me right now that I have worked on the most over Christmas, right? So, which order do I do this? Let's do it like this. Okay, so I don't know though, because I mean, do it this way around. So, something I bought this year that most of you have seen, which all throughout my Yasmas was the main thing that I updated people on over Tinterwebs. And that is my Hade. I know, right? I got Hade, because why not? That is 18 count white Ada, because I mean, even when I got this Ada, the size of it, we all know how big Hades are. I mean, I'm doing Once Upon a Fairy Tale, which surprisingly will look like this when it's finished. Because she's beautiful, because she's owned by me and she's beautiful, right? So, yeah, I bought her, so I bought the 18 count, and even the 18 count fabric alone could have been used as a throw for my sofa, as how big it is. So the fact that I thought, oh, maybe this is still, and I would have gone to 14, no guy, the 18 count cost me enough. So yeah, I've got that. So you've seen what it looks like. Anyone who's been on my YouTube, my Instagram, and has been looking at this knows where it is. But without further ado, it says, haha, moving it there. Guys, there has been a bit of damage. We're not going to lie to anyone who has seen this. I mean, I flipped out, and to anyone who doesn't have Instagram, I'm sorry for the triggering that's about to happen. I am going to cover it up a little bit and then show you after. He says as it falls apart. Right, okay. It's not falling apart. Okay, let's just get on with this. Right, so this is what it currently looks like. Where you gone? That, I mean, and that I believe is 1.21%. Yeah, 1.21%, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll superimpose it over the top now. Bet I'm wrong. Anyway, so that's what I've been working on. I even ventured to Hobbycraft, where it's horrible to go. But they've got a lift, so it's fine now. But anyone who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's brilliantly beautiful, and I've been doing that. The moment that we're dealing with is someone decided to eat over the top of their Hade. Now, that's not even inside. I'm just hoping I can get rid of that and vanish at some point. If not, it is what it is. Also, I don't remember putting in the orange down here. Orange down where? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why am I losing it? There. Yeah, that's ketchup. Yeah, I know, right? But I think that's going to be covered over anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, so that is currently my Heaven and Earth on my 18 count. It's beautiful. carry on working on it. He's just lovely. Although, saying that, barring today, I've not actually stitched for the past week because I took a load of photos of where all my WIPs are and I didn't want them to change because I was actually going to do this last week, but it just didn't happen. And, you know, I would say stuff got in the way. I got in the way. Anyway, so that is my Heaven and Earth by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth. That is my Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth. Great. Now my final WIP, which, yeah, this is the one that I probably have worked on the most over the past couple of weeks. But I can't, I love it. I love it. It's great. It's great. I mean, and if anyone knows my pieces by now, you probably know which one's coming. Life in Countryside, the one that was inspired by my nan because of the piece that she did years back. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And here is what it currently looks like. Is it right way up? It is. Yeah. Now. I mean, I just adore this piece. It really is. I've been working a lot on the bricks, and I mean, even right, okay. I know we're all the same. Like, I'm the kind of person that I'll just walk past one of my pieces at night as I'm going to bed, and it'll be like, oh, but I've got to stare at you for God knows how long because I love that one little part on it. But like, my favourite bits, like, you see, right, let's do this in reverse. So there, and like here, right? You can see the actual shadows. I mean, the back stitch isn't even in there yet, and you can see the shadows that are being created, and oh, it's just, it is beautiful, you know. But like I say, I mean, I am getting to the point where, right, pick a side. I've been doing a lot of brick recently because I've really been enjoying that, and I've always said I'm going to leave the people and the pets until the end because I will. But I've got a feeling I'm going to have to start ploughing on with some of the boring, like, well, I say boring, it's not boring because it's all beautiful, but with some of like the ground or the leaves in the trees or the sky around the outside, because if it gets to the point where I've just got bits I don't want to do, I'm going to get bored and then I'm not going to want to do it, which I don't want to happen because if I'm honest, I mean, not that I ever make targets, not that I ever make targets for myself. I'd like this finished by the end of the year. I really honestly would. Probably won't get there, but I'd like to be finished by the end of the year. So, yeah, this is for, for my nan, who kind of inspired me a little bit into cross stitching. So, you know, if I can, then I will. So, right, that is all my WIPs. So, regarding my stitching for next year, there's this stitch. Well, it is next year. I mean, well, technically, this is still like December the 22nd, because wibbly wobbly tiny wimey, and I'm not. But also, Christmas hasn't even happened yet. I hope already he's coming. You know, whatever. But no. So my stitching for this year was going to be for me. I mean, all of my stitching's for me most of the time, unless it's a gift. Which, I mean, the process is for me. The product is for someone else. But I've decided to stitch things that I want to stitch this year. I mean, I've still got a couple of things that I'm doing for other people, and I will continue to work on those. But the pressure I put on myself because of that is just uncalled for. It's uncalled for. So yeah, I've decided I'm just going to stitch for me, which kind of goes along the lines of, as I said previously, my fantasy, my mythology, my history, you know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, worst comes to worst, I will always find a reason. I can fit something into a theme, into a context, you know, and all that, you know. I just want to stitch stuff for me this time round. I mean, I've decided I'm gonna have three main projects. My three main big projects, which again, these plans are being made here, they'll probably change as soon as I start editing, to be honest, but hey ho. So my three main projects, surprisingly, are going to be my 150 Pokemon, are also going to be my Once Upon a Fairy Tale, Amy Stewart, Hade and all that. My third one, now, I'm not going to start that until my birthday because I want to get some big amounts in on these two. But yeah, so My third one, I actually got because, luckily, I won a competition with Contemporary Cross on Instagram, which, guys, I mean, wow. Right, so let's do this, because this is kind of going to become a shout out of it. So, yeah, Contemporary Cross put out a giveaway competition madoojit thingamabobs, and all that, which I entered, which you have to obviously put someone else's name in and stuff, and blah blah this, and then you both win and stuff. So I won, and I really hope this person doesn't mind me mentioning them. They shouldn't, honestly, because I'm about to let the cat out of the bag, that they're my cousin. So me and my cousin, who on Instagram, if you have Instagram and you've seen Sammy with an IE Stitches 23, that's my cousin. She does some beautiful pieces. She's just finished one for her mum as well, which was lovely. Which, I mean, I don't like to, I mean, beautiful pieces, but you want to see them, you go see them. I don't want to kind of, like, you know, take that away from her. Also, again, Sammy, I hope you really don't mind me doing this, but she's wondering whether to start a Flosstube. Now, for anyone who's worried, who was worried, or, you know, did have those nerves in the beginning, do me a favour and either go and give us some, like, shout-outy, advice-y, encouragement-y thingy on Instagram if you can, or just stick in the comments, you know, reasons why she should, because personally I think she should, you know. I mean, she might not want to, you know, and that's completely down to her, that is fine, but you've got some beautiful pieces. Anyway, kind of moving into that as well. So yeah, Contemporary Cross have some beautiful pieces which in my brain rival Haid. They honestly do. I mean, it was kind of like when they were like, yeah, go and pick a pattern and come back and let us know. I was like, okay, fine. I've got very niche tastes. Unfortunately, this is a very niche tasting well, I say website, very niche tasting. It's just different. There are so many different things on there, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna write, this isn't the one I picked. However, there are 3 others that were on there that I was getting people on Instagram to pick through. So these are the ones that I asked people to pick from, and then I'll show you mine at the end. So these are the 3. But the pièce de résistance, literally, oh my god, right, okay, so without further ado, this is the one I chose. And he is beautiful. I know I normally refer to all of them as she, but he, my god, just the most amazing thing. Now, I understand there's a hell of a lot of similar colour in that. Don't care. I do not care. I already have a piece of 14 count downstairs that, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't measured it out yet, so I hope it's big enough to fit it. But that is mine. That is what I am doing. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. So that's the one that I'm going to start in May, because I'm probably going to be using all of the vouchers that I got over Christmas to pay for all of the threads that I need for that one. But, you know, suffer for the art. But yeah, so that was the one I chose. My cousin Sam chose this beautiful one. And if you want to see progress on that, obviously, go look on Instagram. Comment on it and say, this looks great on your page, but it would look better in a YouTube video. Okay? So, at this point, what I will say is, yeah, feel free to go see my cousin and see how amazing she is, because she is amazing. I mean, well, she's related to me. This is not going to be an issue. Whomever, Sam, if you want, you can just message me and say, why would you tell people we're related? Why? You know, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm sorry I lied. But just because, you know, I know how embarrassing I can be to people, and I don't care, but other people might. So yeah, so either way, I'm really sorry, Sam, but that's my shout out for you. It may be the only one I ever give you unless you start a floss tube. Moving on. While we're talking about winning, when I say winning, I'm not like Charlie Sheen, winning, but like while we're talking about winning, I also, on a roll clearly, I also entered a giveaway with Colorbandits on Instagram, at which, I mean, again, nichely within my theme, and I won, and I was able to, bless them, lovely to give these to me, but yeah, I won these 3 patterns. So as you can see, that fits in with my theme for next year. If I want to start those, which I'm not going to lie, probably will. And then on top of that, I say probably. Okay, so there are two pieces that I want to start next year. That are within this region. One of them is previously shown, but I'll show it again, is Baba Yaga. This is a piece that, like I say, relates to my what's it called? My D&D group. And just, it's, like I say, it's kind of a main character, so I want to focus on that. And the other one is surprisingly again D&D, as I've mentioned before, Dickie, my half-elven druid. In my game, I got a couple of years back, I believe it's my birthday, probably Christmas now in my luck, all the different kind of classes but in cross stitch patterns. My sister bought them for me, so I was thinking of starting like one for me, but then I don't know whether I want to get a big piece and then just do them all on one big piece, because I'm thinking that now may be a really good idea. I love ADHD. Anyway, okay, so there's those, there's that there. I mean, I have previously mentioned I do have 2 other projects, but I think they're massive projects, and in all honesty, until I start designing them, I don't want to mention them. I have previously mentioned them before, because, you know, why not be a constant paradoxical oxymoron? More moron than oxy. Anyway, so that's that with those. Other than that, there hasn't really been much going on. I mean, creating a pattern for myself, But one other thing that I will say, and then I am going to wrap up, because I want to stitch. I'm not going to lie, I just want to stitch. There are more things are filtering into my head. Okay, so in 2023, right, guys, things are right. Okay, so it was going to be short. I've just now added 5 things to the things I want to talk to you about. So first, foremost, and the most important thing that's happened, right, this is to everyone named Sam, Sophie, and Ilonka, because they're the only 3 I know that watch it currently. If anyone else does, please come out of the woodwork and yas into the workroom. Anyway, season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race has started. Now, if any of you have not watched this, aka Sophie and Sammy may have, I don't know yet. So Sophie, just put your fingers in your ears till I start doing this. Okay? Right, so season 15 came out. Oh my god, it's so amazing. We've got 16 queens in there. We had a split opening, which was amazing. We have twins. We have... Everyone seems to be amazing. I can't really see any boogers at the moment. So it's going to be hard. I mean, I was rooting for the twins, Sugar and Spice, before they went in there, once I heard they were going in there, because I love Sugar and Spice. I was aware of Sasha by name only. She's impressing me, and clearly, I mean, look at the goddess. the goddess of the earth. Okay, my God, she's just, yes, work it. Other people to look out for, I mean, from the first couple of episodes in the talent show and the meets and all that, the 3 people that stand out for me are, surprisingly, well, Sugar and Spice. They're in a world of their own. They're twins. That's Yas, Queen, whatever. Where my ding-a-ling go. So we have Marsha did an amazing performance. I am aware that people probably, well, people don't know what I'm talking about right now, so the people that do, I'm sorry, I'm getting through this as soon as possible. So Marsha, her performance, just, I giggled the entire way through. It was brilliant. Jax, what the actual mind-blowing, yas, okay? And finally, Anitra. Now, I apologise to anyone watching this because, well, I'm not apologising, I'm sorry. You better walk that fucking duck. Just, you better walk that fucking duck. Okay, I apologise for the language, I do. But it means a lot, okay? Yes. Drag Race is amazing, it's out. If you haven't watched it, why? Go watch it now. Anyway, that's amazing, that's first. What else hath occurred? No? So you see, remember those 5 things that I was going to tell you that now, because I've been speaking about Drag Race, have just gone. So they'll probably filter back in as I'm talking to you guys, but as I mentioned previously, I was inspired by one Elizabeth, FrizzyLizzie Stitches, and her sections on FrizzyLizzie Scribbles. I was introduced to bullet journals, and I have set one up for myself for this year. I say I've set it up, let's not lie to you guys. I've got most of it set up. Me and my friend Sophie have got to get together and like do as much as possible, because it's halfway through the month and it's starting to get to the point where it's like, guys, I just, you know, I'm filling bits in and I'm doing all the bits that I'm supposed to, but I just need to be a bit more organised, because I'm hoping to use this bullet journal to keep myself organised in a really fun and cool way, because something that don't get me wrong, I'm a perfectionist sometimes when it comes to things that I'm doing, and you can't be a perfectionist in a bullet journal because there's only so many pages you can cut out. So yeah, I say I'm using it to kind of keep track of myself and keep myself accountable. Also, it's really cool to go and like just look up the way people have been creating them. There's a program that used to be out in the UK called Art Attack, which is probably obvious as to what it is, and like smart SM art and stuff like that. Which they just, as kids, you know, they showed you, all right, great, go and get a cereal box, a couple of pipe cleaners, and a couple of elastic bands. We'll show you how to make a merry-go-round. So yeah, I like stuff like that. So, you know, creative and bits like that, and you know, it's fun, if I'm honest, which is cool. I'm going to use it, like I say, to kind of hopefully make myself a better person, make myself more educated in certain ways, and just make the best out of life, because, you know, not that I believe it, but we all only get one go round. So yeah, live what you can, do the best with it. But other than that, let's have a look. That's it really, guys. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm going to say to you guys, I really hope that I am back like within a month, which technically would be what, Valentine's Day right now, with the dates, I believe. Yeah, it would be Valentine's Day today. Oh, sweet. Okay, so at that point, yeah, I will leave you guys to it. As I said, if you want to help a homosexual in need, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you beautiful lot on the interwebs again. I'm on Instagram. I'm just rambling now. Right, guys,